the talk, do you accept God as your creator?
No.
Okay, what would you like to say?
So from what I understand, are you a presuppositionalist?
Yes, and so are you.
No.
Yes, you are. You speak out of a worldview, don't you?
Not a worldview of those.
Oh, you okay? Well, then guess what? Then you have to keep your mouth shut, because in order to speak intelligible statements, they must be encapsulated and derived from a model of reality. If you have no model of reality of which you speak of, then your words don't mean anything. Do you have a worldview? Do you have a worldview?
I have a bunch of knowledge.
Sir, don't give me evasive responses. I won't give you a second warning. Do you have a worldview?
Yes.
Okay. When you speak propositions and statements portending that they are true in virtue of the worldview that they derive from your perspective, correct?
They're true based on their continued ability to produce
If you dodge my question,
results.
I'm going to remove you. My questions are not trick questions, and my questions are not difficult to answer. Now, you speak out of your worldview. Are we clear?
Okay.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but I'm not going to let you or anyone else play evasive games with me.
Hey, I'm just here to kind of come from like a spot to know what you believe.
Good.
Because that's what I kind of come here to do.
How long have you been listening?
I've been listening to you for a minute. I've watched a couple of your debates, and they were okay. They were good.
Okay, so your position, you're an atheist then, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to defend your atheism, or do you want me to defend the existence of God?
I would like to hear a good argument for the existence of God. That's what I would like to hear.
Okay, I will give it to you in the short form. The world as it presents itself to you and myself, from the smallest to the grandest scale, exemplifies design and intentionality, and it could only exemplify design and intentionality if and only if God existed and he purposed that the world exemplified design and intentionality. Because the world exemplifies design and intentionality, we can then speak intelligibly about things of our world, including foundational concepts such as universals and particulars and the uniformity of nature. If you do not accept that the world exemplifies design and intentionality, you will now forfeit the ability to speak intelligibly about your world, because you do not have an identifiable ground of all being that imposes and secures that there are universals and particulars, without which you won't be able to count the fingers on your hand. So I'm giving you a transcendental argument, and certain transcendental arguments can be formulated in such a way that the denial of the transcendental argument pushes the skeptic into a position of complete absurdity, where they have no defensible worldview from which to affirm or deny anything, including the denial of the transcendental argument for God. So I've just given you a transcendental argument for God. Okay? Now, you will either accept that transcendental proof, or you will reject it. If you reject it, you are going to be making a counterclaim which you're going to have to defend. So do you accept or reject my transcendental argument?
Well, I reject it.
Good.
But I'm
now
you're
you're now making a counterclaim. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
Good. Then you're going to have to explain to me, what is it that is identifiable, that is concrete, that imposes and secures the realness of universals and particulars in your world, without which you won't be able to speak intelligibly. So what is it that's identifiable, that is ultimate, that imposes the universals and the particulars?
Well, the only thing that I can say is that we can only know of our personal...
No, you're not answering the question. Don't give me, we can only know this. The words coming out of your mouth. Do you have something that is concrete, as opposed to a statement of abstraction, that is identifiable and defensible, that secures the realness of the universals and particulars in the world?
I have no other choice but to see the reality around me. There's no other choice.
That's not an answer to my question. Do you have an identifiable, concrete, unifying principle that imposes and secures the universals and particulars being real?
Well, I don't, but you don't either.
Okay, so
You
then,
presuppose.
sir, stop right there. What you have just done is called a tu quo que fallacy. Once you say, I don't, you forfeit your ability to make affirmations and denials. Can you make affirmations and denials in a world where you cannot ground that universals and particulars are real?
You see, I think it's the wording.
Answer the question. I'll repeat the question. When you said, I don't and you don't either, you are conceding that you don't have an identifiable, concrete, unifying principle that secures the realness of the universals and particulars. If you cannot ground the realness of universals and particulars, you forfeit your ability to affirm and deny things. Do you understand that last statement?
I go off the logical absolutes.
Sir, you're not responding to what I just said to you. Do it again, and I will remove you from the stream. If you don't have an identifiable, concrete ground of being that secures the realness of the universals and particulars, you forfeit the ability to rationally affirm and deny things. Can you rationally affirm and deny things without anything making the universals and particulars real?
So I'm guessing that would be God.
You're not answering the question. I'm asking you, sir, can you rationally affirm and deny things if you don't have a justification that the universals and particulars are real? For example, you said you and I. You're invoking universals and particulars when you speak like that, right? You're invoking unity and diversity. There's unity at all different levels that are supposed to be real. Now, if you don't have a rational defense for what makes the universals and the particulars real, do you forfeit your ability to rationally affirm and deny things?
No.
Yes, you do. Because when you affirm something, you're going to be invoking either a universal or a particular. In order to affirm and deny things, means that you're going to be affirming or denying some range of universals and particulars. Can you affirm or deny anything without invoking a universal or particular?
A universal or particular.
Can you affirm or deny anything without employing universals and particulars? Well, the answer is no, you can't. Universals and particulars are going to have to be real as a prerequisite in order to affirm and deny things. It's not the only prerequisite, but it is a necessary condition. So universals and particulars being real is a necessary precondition for affirmation and denial, correct?
I suppose so, but I'd have to know what
so
universals
when you say I have a problem and so do you, you are making an affirmation or a denial. Now, can you make an affirmation or denial like that without grounding that universals and particulars are real?
I think Dorothy, I don't think he knows what universals in particulars are.
I've already explained that to him. Okay, your particulars would be something that is unified or a compound state of unity. And universals are categories and classes of things like atoms, molecules, dogs, cats, trees, water.
Okay, now I get it. Okay, yeah. You
So,
have
for
to acknowledge of those things.
for example, my pinky on my left hand is a particular. It's a compound particular. My ring finger adjacent to my pinky is another particular that is discrete and distinguished from the particular of my pinky. But they're both on my same hand, so they're unified. They're both fingers, so they're unified. Okay? So universals are any level of unity at any scale. Particulars is that something is unified and discrete and is distinguished from something else. So I'll ask you, can you affirm or deny things without universals and particulars being grounded as real?
No.
Okay, stop right there. You have just conceded without grounding universals and particulars, you forfeit the ability to affirm and deny things, correct?
No.
You just agreed to that a moment ago.
What you have to remember.
Okay, have a nice day. Okay, we're not doing this. All right. Either he's out in left field or he's purposely playing dumb. You see, this is what happens. TikTok is a cesspool, and people think that they can come up here and act like pond scum. I'm not putting up with it.
Yep.
Right? You can disagree with me intelligently, but if you act like pond scum, I'm going to treat you like pond scum.